My little boy Zion turns 3 months old. It's been such an incredible journey. I want to share some of the things that I have been learning as a first-time mommy. This is most importantly just me sharing my journey with you all. Let's get into this video. First thing that I've learned on this mommy journey is, interestingly, that I really had very limited vocabulary with regards to how I talk to my boy and how I address my boy. Largely because we grew up in communities and kind of families where our parents did the best they could. However, when I really look back, I don't even remember what my parents used to call me when I was a baby. What kind of vocabulary did they use? So I literally have a almost clean slate. I get to kind of discover what I want to call my baby boy, how I want to address him, how I want to speak to him. And I'm learning that somewhere out there in the interspace, there is a lot of people that teach you on how to speak to your children. I've been learning that there's something called gentle parenting, and I am just learning so much about motherhood, learning the vocabulary to use when you're talking to your little ones. Second thing I'm learning on this journey is that friendships change in the season, and friendships kind of shift, friendships pivot. It's because of these huge responsibilities that have just kind of come into your life, many of which you were not even prepared for. So you weren't even prepared enough to kind of warn them of this new season that you're currently in. I have to learn to kind of like manage those changes. They might not go back to what they used to be. I'm learning that I don't always have time. And so my friends, this is a season where they really have to understand. And I'm learning that the real OGs will understand and they will give you grace for the times when you can't kind of like show up for certain things because mommy duties call. I'm also learning that there's nothing wrong with you starting to create a new tribe, a new community of friends who also have been through this motherhood journey. You definitely need a couple of people to walk this road with. So that's something that I've been learning to like intentionally pray about and seek out on an intentional level, because on a general day, I don't go out looking for friends. I'm like one of those people that kind of like keeps to myself, and I am super happy here by my little corner right here. Third thing I'm learning is new ways to deepen my relationship with God. When I was single, the way that I used to relate to God is totally different from the way that I'm relating with God in this season. There's a lot of grace that's required when you're a new mommy, because you just don't have time. And for you to literally have your own time apart from your husband, or your own time apart from your child, you have to push. You might even have to wake up around 5 in the morning or 4 in the morning, and sometimes it's just impractical. So I'm learning to really deepen my relationship with God in a new and a unique way, and I'm learning that it's okay that I don't have those late evening sessions with God where I would just kind of hang with him after work. I wasn't married, I didn't have a child. I would just stay in absolute silence and just delight in his presence. I no longer have that. I no longer have that at all. Unless I'm on a solo date and like I'm alone. So I'm learning new ways to engage with God and to create a completely new and different relationship altogether with him. Number 4, I'm learning to invest in a healthy body. I'm talking about like really being diligent with supplements. I recently bought a new collagen supplement for my body. Collagen being that part of your inner body that holds all things together. When you're done delivering life into the world, there's a lot of your body that kind of just, gives off. So you want to start exercising and start bringing everything back together again. You want to tone. So I've been taking collagen supplements, even like just being very intentional about the food that I eat and making sure that I'm staying healthy. We've been eating a lot more vegetable meals at home. So I have been learning as a new mom that it's so crucial for you to start investing in taking good care of your health, because you now have a little human being to take care of that completely depends on you. It's no longer just about you. I'm also in the season learning to invest a lot of time in my baby boy. I am currently on maternity leave, and I think it's about a month now before I go back to work full time. I know that I might never get back a time that looks identical to this time where I am fully present for my baby boy. So I'm trying as much as possible to create moments with him and to be present in the moment with him, look him in the eye, play with his little legs, sing with him. I exercise with him in the morning as well, watch Netflix with him, look him in the eye and like really, really allow him to experience me at my fullness. Number 6, I am learning to communicate my needs to my spouse. I think I am just incredibly independent, and I've been incredibly independent all my life. Got married at 32. I'm having my first baby at 33, and for the past few years I've just been living my own life independently. It's funny how everything works perfectly. It's a well-oiled machinery when you are single, but as soon as you step into marriage, it's a whole different ballgame altogether, because this is like a completely new arena that you now need to learn, you need to grow in, and you need to master. Communication of just like my needs is something that I'm learning, that I actually need to learn and relearn how to do, especially to my spouse. And how many of you know that in the context of marriage, God is even challenging you as well to be a better communicator? So you actually need to learn how to articulate your feelings, and also creating a platform that is safe in your house for those needs to be communicated. So I'm learning. I feel like a student when it comes to communication at this point as a new mommy. Number 7, I am learning to be open to advice, but also ultimately following my gut, because I believe that God has given me this little human being, and with this little human being came the ability and the grace and the anointing to be a good mother to him. And it comes with the spirit of discernment, being just able to discern when your child needs something different from what people are maybe encouraging you or advising you to fix or change or do. So it's been such an interesting, fascinating dynamic where I'm kind of learning a lot from other people. Like I've had people come in my inbox and kind of give me very interesting advice that was not asked for. And I have to also learn that they are also mummies, and they have the heart of a mother, and the heart of a mother desires to see the best in children, and learn how to navigate around that space, because sometimes I'm like, but I didn't ask for this advice though. Like, why is this advice coming? Because I didn't ask for it. I'm going to give you a little situation that happened. A few days ago, somebody came into my DMs and kind of said, I had posted a stories about my little boy. They then came into my inbox and kind of responded to that story, and they said, hi, I noticed that your little boy has skin issues. He's got a little rash, and then they gave me an ointment to use for the rash. And I was like, that's so odd. And then I had to kind of calm myself down and say, I think a couple of weeks ago I had, spoken about, the fact that my boy had a rash issue. And I was like, but why didn't they respond to that post? Why did they respond to this one? So it's odd. It's I'm just being a little vulnerable right now, but I had to like sit myself down and tell myself that these people likely are coming from a very good place. Yeah, it's like situations like those that you kind of ask yourself, okay, I don't talk to you like that. I don't think we're friends like that, and I don't think I asked for advice like that. But you gave me advice like that, and you have to just hope that it came from a good place. But yeah, what I'm essentially saying is that I'm learning to receive advice from other mummies. It's nicer when you ask for it, But I'm kind of learning to receive advice from other mummies, and then I'm also learning to just kind of follow my gut when it comes to even the advice that I receive. Like, do I want to use this or not? I don't know. In the comment section below, let me know if this is was this an overreaction on my part, or this is just a mummy thing, like just a fierce lioness type of vibe, like just trying to be protective of your child. Because really, honestly, I could stop posting my child like completely from this channel or from my stories, like completely, and just halt and never speak about these type of things, and you guys would wonder why. It's because of these small little things that happen in the background, that kind of have you questioning, well, maybe I should just like not share anything at all concerning this journey. Number 8, I've also been learning to silence mom guilt by practicing a lot of self-love, just pouring a lot of self-love and a lot of forgiveness on myself. 3 months is a long time in a baby's life and in a mummy's life, especially a new mummy's life. And there's a lot of things that you sometimes feel guilty about, stuff that happens to your kid, and you're just like, you probably didn't have control over it, or you just feel like you could have been a better mom. And like you when you really calculate it, it's like you couldn't have been a better mom, like you didn't know. But there is this mom guilt that just stays with you because of stuff that happens. Like, a quick example is this one time, like I think it was in his first month, I literally woke up in the middle of the night and I switched on the lights, and as soon as I switched on the light, I noticed that Giovanni had been regurgitating his milk. And it was the first time I'd ever seen anything like that, ever. And I thought my child was about to die. Now, please note, I've seen this happen a couple of more times now, and I just understand that this is what babies do. You just have to make sure that you are actually positioning them in such a way that when that happens, they don't choke on their own. But when it happened, I couldn't sleep for a couple of days because I thought my child was going to choke in his sleep. And the sad thing about it is that I felt so horrible that I couldn't even tell my husband in the morning. I ended up telling him, I think, like later on in the evening, after spending a full day just beating myself about it. So it's mom guilt, and like really just learning how to pour out a lot of self-love on yourself. And you have to understand that you have been supernaturally empowered to be a mother. You have been graced for it. God has trusted you with this human being because you are capable, and you are helped by the Holy Spirit throughout this situation. All of it, there is help. But that mom guilt, it never just like completely goes away. How many of us know that? It just never goes away completely. You're gonna confront it, but you have to give yourself a lot of self-love, and you have to allow God to speak over that fear and over that guilt. Number 9, I am learning that as a new mom, you are a completely new human being altogether. Ease back into your old life with your new self, and don't feel pressure. Don't feel some type of pressure to continue to perform at the rate at which you were performing when you were single, or the rate at which you were performing when you were a new wife with no child. You have a human being that you're taking care of, and a lot of things have changed in your life, and you have changed. Provide a lot of grace for yourself. The type of grace and love that you give to others, give that to yourself as well in this season. Don't try to force your new self into this old mold and then get frustrated when you don't get the same results that you used to get. Number 10, I'm learning as a new mom to accept help. Guys, learn to receive help. I am such a type A person, and I like things done in a specific way. If a bed is being made, I like it made my way. If the dishes are getting cleaned, I like them clean my way. If the house is getting sorted out, I like it to look the way it would look when I do it. It's a blessing, and it's also a curse. A blessing because I think I do a good job at the things that God has entrusted me to do, but it's also a curse in the sense that sometimes in seasons like this, when you can't do much unless you get help and you receive help. It's in seasons like these when you look around you and you kind of get frustrated. So I'm really learning that, Mel, accept help, accept help. So it's really been such an incredibly humbling season for me, learning to permit other people to assist and to help. Number 11, pour into yourself, sis. Pour into yourself as much as possible. As much as possible. Ugh. The moment you get an opportunity, it could be 5 minutes, it could be an hour, it could be half a day, it could be a day. When you get an opportunity to pour into yourself, do the things that light you up. And I'm learning to make myself a priority. And whenever I get an opportunity, I'll go get those nails done. Right now, my nails are looking horrible. And I'm literally right now trying to devise ways in which I'm going to go for my next nail appointment, because I know it's going to fill me up. It's going to make me happy. It's going to make me feel good about myself. And when you're a happy mommy, you're a happy wife. When you're a happy wife, you're a happy mommy. You need to fill yourself up. You are a priority. Number 12, be patient with your body. Listen to it, love it, and laugh about the things that are not yet changed into snatchment. Like, listen. I'm 3 months into this thing, and oh, I love my beautiful stretch marks. I am 3 months into this thing, and I'm very patient with my little pot belly look. I am gonna love myself to perfection. I'm gonna love myself to the best version that I can possibly be as a new mommy. I have to love myself into this new version of myself that I'm trying to recreate. I've been doing some exercises, and I've been patient with myself. If I feel like this particular exercise is too difficult for me, I have no shame in doing the alternative exercise. Look, I am the queen of alternate exercises. I could complete the full exercise for that day with alternate exercises, but I'm going to show up and I am going to move my body. But I'm patient with my body. As we're closing up, number 13, what I've noticed is that when you set up the scene, things go a lot more smooth. What do I mean? I've learned that when I really plan whatever I'm about to do or whatever I intend to do the next day, things go a lot more smoother. So I'm learning that if I want to bath my baby, just putting everything in front of me, like putting everything that I'm going to need and just organizing it, and probably leaving it to rest for like 30 minutes before I jump into it, removes that overwhelm that task could have potentially had on me. That's a new tool that I am perfecting, and I'm finding that it definitely takes off a lot of pressure off me when it comes to getting ready to go out or just getting ready to do stuff that's on my to-do list. And I'm just going to add on there that while you're at it, play music you like, or watch something while you're doing something that's more strenuous. Watch something you like. Listen to a sermon. Listen to a podcast. Listen to an audible book while you're doing some of your tasks. I'm learning that they become more enjoyable. So spice it up. Romanticize your mommy season. Find ways to romanticize it, mama. Number 14, use times when you have plenty to create reservoirs for times when you have little. And I'm basically talking about milk here. There are days when you wake up and you have huge milk supplies. And there are days when you wake up and you have nothing. You know, you're struggling, mommy. And you just don't know what to do. You don't know how you're going to feed your son. So I've literally bought these little sachets that I use to store milk that I am not in need of, like, urgently, so that when I don't have milk, I am able to just relax because I know that I'm sorted and covered. Take the times of plenty to store for the times when you have little. Number 15, start planning for an appointment or a journey or whatever it is that you want to do an hour before. You know, somebody told me this over our baby shower. This was one of the advices that I received that I'm using and maximizing on. Just add an hour, to that time schedule, because you're going to need it. Because once again, you now have this little human being that you have been given the incredible privilege by heaven, by God, by the Almighty to take care of. Like, That is huge. All right, guys, that's it from my side. This has been so much fun filming. I'm filming this later on in the evening, and I feel like this has been a bit therapeutic for me, interestingly. In the comment section below, let me know what you have learned in your mommy journey. So this is me at 3 months. All right, see you in the next video. Can't wait to see you again. So bye for now. Oh, and interestingly, I am currently at this particular moment running a pregnancy series, specifically talking about the financial costs of pregnancy. I'm literally talking prenatal expenses, I'm talking delivery expenses, I'm talking postnatal expenses, I'm talking all things maternity leave, applying for your unemployment fund while you're on maternity leave. I'm talking about how you can decorate your baby's nursery room, you know, at a reasonable price. I'm talking about how you can create a fund for a baby that's coming up. I am talking all things finances. I'm talking all things financial side of pregnancy, and it's on my finance channel called Honest 33. There is a link in the description box below, and there's going to be a link right up there. So visit my channel, check out a couple of videos. If you like what you see, please subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be pouring out quite a lot of exciting, amazing content this year, and you want to be a part of it. And also invite an expecting mommy or a mommy that you know is trying and is going to be expecting soon, so that we can go on this journey together and we can prepare financially and navigate this pregnancy journey with the financial knowledge that we need. All right.